Hey, so officially welcome, Elaine, to the Awesome Letting Go Zoom room for another live session. Today's session on how to accept the one all-pervading God of love, which is a nice title. So we'll dive straight into our daily quote, just as an intro into that, and then that'll lead us through a bit of teaching related to that into our lesson for today, lesson 124 of the workbook. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen with you. You can read that headline quote.
Yep. Yeah. There is only one all-pervading God. It has only one message. Love all, encompass all, and transcend the limits of the selfish gene, which is the ego.
Yeah, selfish gene, he calls it. So it's really just stating the simple truth that every authentic spiritual tradition and teacher has taught through the ages. Right? This is what's called the perennial philosophy. One God, one alternate reality that's beyond this reality, and everyone is encompassed in that. Therefore, this God is all-pervading and unconditionally loving. If this is an awareness that's in everyone and everything, and you see in the images, many people, different people of different ages, races, genders, and it doesn't matter. They're all the same. It's the same awareness that underlies them. It gives life to all of them. We only have difficulty accepting this truth because of what this guy, Dr. Amit Ray, who's an Indian spiritual teacher, and interestingly also an expert in quantum computing and artificial intelligence, calls the selfish gene. Course in Miracles, many other spiritual paths call it the ego. He's obviously sort of scientifically minded, hence the gene. But it goes beyond the genes. It can be encoded into genes, but it's an entity, a belief really, in a separation and a separate self. So in fact, the ego and its dysfunctions are not caused by genes at all, as scientific materialists would like you to believe, but rather by the belief in separation that then makes up apparently separate bodies with different genes to trick the mind into believing that it really is an individual person living in a body in a seemingly external world. The genetic fallacy has been largely disproved. You're not just a product of your genes, because the biochemistry of the body, which is under the influence of thoughts and emotions, is what unlocks the genes. So genes are half the story, but the chemicals that the genes get exposed to are what then determine what happens. So in other words, you have a high degree of control over that because you have control over your thoughts and your emotions, which directly affect the biochemistry of the body. And this is, the latest kind of cutting edge science. People like Bruce Lipton, I include some of his talks in the program. I think I've already, but coming up later on in the program. You see that, science has advanced now to the point where they understand it's not just the genes, it's the thoughts and emotions, because those chemicals that the body produces in response to the thoughts and emotions are what unlock the genes, and they make the genes respond in certain ways. And those are directly under our control. So it's a fallacy to say, oh, well, I've got cancer because of my genes. No, maybe you had a predisposition towards it, but it was your habitual thoughts and emotions that activated that predisposition and made it manifest. So in other words, we have a high degree of control over our health, over what happens in our body, because we can control our thoughts and emotions. And that makes a huge difference. So much more empowering than, oh, you're just a product of your genes, and there's nothing you can do about it, which is what the scientific materialist sponsored medical industry would have you believe. And all this has been done for one reason and one reason only, to convince the mind that its belief in its separate identity is true, and that oneness or love is not. Antidote to this trickery and self-deceit is the universal unconditional love that Amit Ray refers to in this quote, which you can perceive in every apparent person and indeed every living organism, every sentient being sharing the dream of this world with you. I was looking at some slugs on the path the other day. These slugs are, in their little reality, and they're crossing the path, and the idea is that they are part of the life essence that you are. So if you're going to hurt the slug just because you can, you could step on and go, it's just a slug. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your own awareness by doing that. Well, that's not a smart thing to do. Believing in the thought system of attack and death in any way, shape, or form is a contradiction to life. So whenever you hurt or attack anything in this world, you are contradicting the very life essence that you are, which is obviously an insane thing to do. So you might say, well, how can I actually live this in practice? Because the theory sounds wonderful, but the practical so-called reality that you experience while living in this world seem to be very different. So the seeming fact that there is no unity in this world, but only separation, right? That seems to be a fact. We talked about earlier with John, what the ego witnesses to. It gives witness to their belief in separation, because that's what it's designed to do. It's invented a world where unity doesn't seem to be there or true, precisely because it wants to perpetuate its belief in separation. So it's not this separation is not a fact at all, but rather a belief that you may still want to hold on to. So irrespective of what seemingly happened in the past and what seems to be happening and how anyone's behaving now, you can always choose to perceive the one life force that gives the gift of life and love to everyone and everything. It's a fundamental choice that you must make in every situation and relationship. If you perceive anyone or anything as separate from you, then fear, anger, guilt, and hatred must arise in your mind, because this is what the belief in separation inevitably leads to. So we have to start seeing that any idea of separation, however that manifests and expresses in my mind, is just that. It's just separation. You're talking about the idea of death, and you think of death in any terms. Your death, someone else's death. It means that separation must be real. Because if you're in eternal life, in this eternal awareness, where there is no death, then the thought of death just can't exist there. So the thought of death makes the idea of separation real. So, but instead of that, you could just as easily perceive the life essence in any person or living thing as the same as your life essence. If you hold this perception in mind, you must start experiencing a sense of your oneness with a personal thing, which is the all-pervading, all-encompassing, transcendent love of which Amit Ray speaks. So the way out of this disaster, really, of the dream of death and disaster, as she calls it, is to perceive this life essence, and that's capitalized because it's the awareness, life essence, force, power, call it whatever you want, spirit. It's just pointers to the same underlying awareness that is always there in truth. Therefore, whether you experience this universal unconditional love or not depends on your perceptions, which is why you're practicing the workbook lessons and the other mind training material in this program every day. By doing the mind training exercises the program recommends that you do, you're systematically training your mind to perceive everyone and everything you think is in the external world correctly, i.e., as the same as you in essence. So you can consistently experience this universal unconditional love and the peace and joy that inevitably brings anyone who experiences it. And this is what it means. You've asked Elaine about, well, how do you actually perceive oneness? How do you perceive everything as one with you? This is how you do it. You can still be aware of the apparent form of people and things, but you don't believe in their underlying reality.
So what does it mean by being aware of awareness? Be aware of awareness. So I'm aware that I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah. It means that you're aware of your own fundamental existence or nature or life.
Yeah, because I hear that quite.
And if you rest in that, then you are in the essence. You're living in this essence. You're living in that awareness. You're living in eternal life.
Or observe the observer. Observe the observer.
Well, in the end, you realize that the observer, that awareness that you think you are, that can then observe other things, that whatever's happening on this level of form, that observer is you. That observer is the whole deal. That's the awareness that you are. There's really nothing else.
So it's trying to stay in that as long as possible. Is that who you truly are?
Yeah. That's what it means to be the Christ. He was Jesus the Christ, Yeshua the Christ, because he stayed in that awareness most of the time. Not all of the time, at the end of his life. So he epitomized this awareness and this thought system in this world. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Yeah, no, I am aware of my awareness, and I can see all the thoughts popping up randomly, which I can clearly see they're not mine because I didn't choose them. Like what I just said this morning, I didn't choose that horrible thought that I had. I was horrified that I'd thought it, but I thought, that's not me.
Well, you see, you did at some point. We all made this fatal choice to choose the ego, but that choice was not permanent. That choice was just an error. This is what you're saying. So we chose it, and it exists in your mind seemingly because you did choose it. But now it's coming up to be looked at again, and you can make another choice. You can choose not to believe that, and you can choose to let it go.
Well, yeah, no, because it was quite horrifying to think that that's what I was thinking.
The
same with you, with your family, we both.
It was horrible. Horrible, really, really horrible. But you're seeing then the horror of the ego. You're experiencing it directly, which is needed if you're going to let it go. Because if you can experience that viscerally, experientially, then people can say, "Oh, the ego is terrible and it's horrible." And if you haven't actually experienced that, then you'll never know, will you?
No.
It's like it's horrible, but no, it's actually okay. So I'll listen I'll listen to its ways and I'll follow its guidance because I don't believe it's that horrible. I think it can actually work for me and help me. And you have to see the horror of it in order to be motivated to let it go. So whatever it's doing, whatever it can offer me, what underlies that offering is is this absolute horror of guilt and sin,
But it's
attack
quite
and
scary. Just
death and
and you, if
disaster.
you believe that's who you are, then I can see that that would really be very scary. Yeah. But fortunately, I know that where did it come from? It's not me. That thought. So I do
Yeah,
know it's not me. You
yeah.
know.
Fortunately, yeah. See, so there you start to see there's an awareness developing, because what is the awareness that knows that? That knows that that thought is not you.
Yeah, yeah. Because I certainly didn't choose it. Not at all.
Yeah. So
But
yeah,
there it
you know,
was.
at some point we all chose separation, and we chose that, but it was an unconscious choice. It was a poor choice. It was a false choice. It was an uninformed choice. We didn't know what we were choosing. Understand, when we chose separation for the first time, we had no idea of the consequences of that because we'd
Mm.
never done it. Had we? So it's like, oh
It's
yeah,
all.
this is cool. It says I could have my own separate identity. Oh,
It's fine
that's nice.
when it's running smoothly. That's fine. You know, you've got the perfect parents, and you know you're going to good education. That's fine. But yeah, it inevitably doesn't stay like that, though, does it?
It's not really fun because if you look at the metaphysics from the beginning, before we were even human, in the
Yeah.
mind, what goes on is, initially there was my own identity. That's interesting. That's an interesting
Mm.
idea as opposed to just this boring, pure formless awareness of perfect love. That's what the ego says. So let's go for it. Yeah, that's a good idea. You can have your own individual identity. Yeah, you can make your own decisions. You can have free will. Great. But then it turns nasty.
Yeah.
You look at the descent into hell, because now, in order to believe that you're individual self, you have to believe that you've destroyed pure formless awareness of perfect love. That's the only way you can justify this identity in your mind. And
Mm.
so then you get the guilt and the sin arising in your mind for this apparently terrible crime that you've seemingly committed. And then it turns nasty because guilt and sin demand punishment. So now you believe you must be punished for your sin. And now fear arises. And now you've got the thought system of attack and fear, and the concept of a fearful, wrathful, vengeful God that's going to punish you for your imagined sin. And then you can't handle the fear and guilt, so you project it out onto others, and you accuse and you blame and you attack them as a projection of your own subconscious guilt. And of course, then they're going to attack back. And now you're caught up in a thought system of accusation, blame, and counterattack, which is a nightmare. Does that make sense? And then,
Oh
the
yes.
lowest self-concept that all of this brings you to is that you're a separate self, and you're living this helpless, innovative little life, which is hell of limitation, lack, loneliness, suffering, and inevitable death. And you're very, very disconnected from the source of who you are. Okay, so that is the metaphysics behind this that explain the teachings quite well. So it's worth going back into them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing?
Always a good reminder.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we go through it again and again. So if you want to listen to that video, that
I
talk
think
by
I've
David
seen it. Is it the
Master,
perceptual problem?
talking about you have one problem. Yeah, it's a perceptual
Yeah,
problem.
I think I've seen that one. Yes, yes.
So one problem and one solution. One problem is the idea of separation, and then that gets entrenched in your perception. So you're perceiving separately all the time. And one solution is that
He's
you
a
can
good
see that and
example.
let it go.
Yeah, he seems to always tends to be more in his awareness than the ego, doesn't he? I mean, I know he will have his ego, obviously, but he seems to have sort of got the knack, as it were.
Yeah, he's been practicing a long time. David's been on this path for 35 years, I think, something like that.
Right.
He's in his early 60s, so
He's dedicated.
started his late 20s, so over 30 years of pretty intense. He's done this pretty much full time. This has been his calling. He hasn't had another job, so he's dedicated his life to learning this. And if you do that, then this thought system can be learned. Okay, so yeah, watch or listen to that if you want as a reminder. Otherwise, that prepares us nicely for today's workbook lesson, which is just stating the simple truth. Again, let me remember that I am one with God, or one with perfect love. This is a lesson repeated many times. There's about 3 or 4 lessons that are saying essentially the same thing. You're one with God, you're one with perfect love. I am as God created me. Just variations on the same theme. He's asking us to repeat it over and over. It's because we don't believe it. If we fully believed it and accepted it, there would be no problem. But we don't fully accept it and believe it. So we must continuously remind ourselves of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is what practice is. That's what's called practice. Okay, so let's go into the lesson. Give me a moment just to activate the recording. All right, so this is lesson 124. If you want to read that in the original and the alternative and the key idea.
Yeah. Let me remember I am one with God. Alternatively, I remember that I am one with perfect love.
Oh. So the translation is just saying that I do remember. Not asking for permission, let me remember. It's more, I remember. I do remember that I am one with perfect love. Does that resonate more with you? I'm one with perfect love.
No, I like the perfect love, I think.
They're both nice. Exactly. And God.
Yeah.
Remember that I'm one with perfect love.
I mean, I like God as well, because I have no problems with God, because, like I say, I never got any religious background.
Yeah, just the word God doesn't really speak to what it is.
A lot of people, a lot of people don't like it at all.
Yeah, there's all the false ideas of God and religious ideas, and then the word itself is just a short Anglo-Saxon word. Actually, it's an awareness. It goes way beyond God. Very short. It's not some entity, not some being. It's the all-encompassing awareness that is the foundation of all existence. But I don't think God really does justice to that idea, in my view. So hence we change it to love, perfect love, or pure formless awareness of perfect love. Okay, so let's read it in the original and the alternative. Shall we do our duet? I'll read.
Yeah, no, that would be helpful. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So today we will again give thanks for our identity in God.
Today I will again give thanks for my identity in pure formless awareness of perfect love.
Our home is safe, protection guaranteed in all we do, power and strength available to us in all our undertakings.
My home is safe, protection guaranteed in all I do, and power and strength available to me in all my undertakings.
We can fail in nothing.
I can fail in nothing.
Everything we touch takes on a shining light that blesses and that heals.
Everything I touch takes on a shining awareness that blesses and heals.
Make that radiant, shining, radiant awareness. So radiates out. At one with God and with the universe, we go our way rejoicing. Thought that God himself goes everywhere with us.
At one with pure formless awareness of perfect love and the universe of truth, I go my way rejoicing with the thought that pure formless awareness of perfect love itself goes everywhere with me.
Okay, and then from the top, an alternative.
Oh, yeah. Today I will again give thanks to my identity in pure formless awareness of perfect love. My home is safe, protection guaranteed in all I do, and power and strength available to me in all my undertakings. I can fail in nothing. Everything I touch takes on a radiant awareness that blesses and heals. At one with pure formless awareness of perfect love and the universe of truth, I go my way rejoicing with the thought that pure formless awareness of perfect love itself goes everywhere with me. Oops.
Got a bit of commotion there. Need to attend to that, Elaine. Oh, so
I've just realised I've got somebody that's just come. I've got a show round. Yeah, we're right in the middle of a live. Would you be able to take over for a bit? I don't know how to work this, but I'm going to be about 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I can just carry on, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Jono. Thank you.
Okay. See you shortly. So what's he saying in the first one? That this identity in pure formless awareness, perfect love, will bless and heal. Everything I touch takes on this awareness. The universe is the universe of truth. I go my way rejoicing with the thought that pure formless awareness of perfect love itself goes with me wherever I go. So this awareness is always with me. It's my own true fundamental awareness, without which I would have no life. So it's always there with me. And that's why, in the teachings, biblical teachings and so on, is that God is with you. God is everywhere, because it's this fundamental awareness. And everything else compared with that is illusory. So how holy are our minds? And everything we see reflects the holiness within the mind, at one with God and with itself. How innocent my awareness is, and everything I perceive reflects the pure formless awareness within my mind. That is one with pure formless awareness of perfect love itself. How easily do errors disappear and death give place to everlasting life? How easily do my errors disappear and death give way to the everlasting life? Our shining footprints point the way to truth. For God is our companion as we walk the world a little while. My enlightened words and actions point the way to truth. Pure formless awareness of perfect love is my companion as I walk the world a little while. And those who come to follow us will recognize the way, because the light we carry stays behind. It still remains with us as we walk on. And those who come to follow me will recognize the way, because the pure formless awareness I carry leaves a trail behind me while still remaining with me as I journey on. So from the top, how innocent my awareness is, and everything I perceive reflects the pure formless awareness within my mind that is one with pure formless awareness, perfect love itself. How easily do my errors disappear and death give way to everlasting life. My enlightened words and actions point the way to truth. The pure formless awareness of perfect love is my companion as I walk the world a little while. Those who come to follow me will recognize the way, because the pure formless awareness I carry leaves a trail behind me while still remaining with me as I journey on. So what's he saying here? It's my awareness is innocent, that this awareness will help all our errors to disappear. Death will give way to everlasting life. And enlightened words and actions point the way to truth. And this pure formless awareness of perfect love goes with me wherever I go. Because it's in my mind. It's with us wherever we go. It's the comforting idea. Can never be without it, because it's our own fundamental awareness. What we receive is our eternal gift to those who follow after. And to those who went before, stayed with us a while. What I receive is my eternal gift to those who follow after me, and to those who went before, journeyed with me for a while. And God, who loves us with the equal love in which we were created, smiles on us and offers us the happiness we gave. And pure formless awareness of perfect love, which loves us with the equal love in which we were extended. We make that R extended. Smiles on us and offers us the happiness we gave to others. And what's he saying here? What I receive is my eternal gift to those who follow after me, and to those who went before, journeyed with me for a while. So as I give, I receive. I give it to others. I extend it out. And pure formless awareness of perfect love, which loves us all with equal love and true word. We are extended, so it's very present tense. This love never stops extending to us. Now smiles on us and offers us the happiness we gave to others. So moving on to number 4. Today, we will not doubt his love for us, nor question his protection and his care. Today, I will not doubt its love for me, nor question its protection and care. No meaningless anxieties can come between my faith and my awareness of its presence. No meaningless anxieties can come between our faith and our awareness of his presence. We are one with him today in recognition and remembrance. We feel him in our hearts. I feel it in my heart. Our minds contain his thoughts, our eyes behold his loveliness in all we look upon. The mind contains its thoughts, and my eyes see its loveliness in all I look upon. Today I perceive only the loving and the lovable. Today I will not doubt its love for me, nor question its protection and care. You might pure formless oneness of perfect love. Nor question its protection and it's really a feel-good paragraph. And one with this awareness, I recognize it, I feel it in my heart, very much a feeling passage. Feel it in my heart, my mind contains its thoughts, and my eyes see its loveliness in all I look upon. Today I perceive only the loving and lovable. So from this enlightened state, an awakened heart, comes true awareness. And if I extend that, it affects my sense perceptions. I look out and I see a world that reflects this awareness. So I perceive only the loving and the lovable. So there I perceive only the loving and lovable. A beautiful, really feeling passage, just sinking us into our heart, feeling the love of God. Very much a feeling lesson, this rather than thinking one. He says we see it in appearances of pain, and pain gives way to peace. So I perceive it in appearances of pain, and pain gives way to peace. I perceive it in the frantic, the sad, the distressed, the lonely, and afraid. We are restored to the tranquility and peace of mind which were created. Or translated, in which they are extended. And we see it in the dying and the dead as well, restoring them to life. I'm saying don't get distracted by these appearances. Appearances are designed to cover over the truth and deny the truth, but correctly interpreted, the appearances are a manifestation, are a proof that there's something deeper that underlies them, which is God and spirit. We join in this awareness as we say that we are one with God. I join in this awareness as I say that I'm one with pure formless awareness of perfect love. But in these words we say as well, that we are saved and healed. We can save and heal accordingly. In these words I say as well that I'm awakened and healed, and I can awaken others and heal accordingly. We have accepted and we now would give. I have accepted this and I can now give freedom and healing. We have accepted and we now would give. I've accepted this and I can now give freedom and healing. We would keep the gifts our Father gave. I want to keep the gifts my source gave to me by giving them away. Today we would experience ourselves at one with Him, so that the world may share our recognition of reality. Today I will experience myself at one with it, so that everyone may share my recognition of reality. In my experience, the world is freed. In our experience, the world is freed. As we deny our separation from our Father, it is healed along with us. As I deny my separation from my source, it is healed along with me. So I join in this awareness as I say that I'm one with pure formless awareness of perfect love. And in these words I say as well that I'm awakened and healed, and I can awaken others and heal. I join in this awareness as I say that I'm one with pure formless awareness of perfect love. For in these words I say as well that I'm awakened and healed, and I can awaken others and heal accordingly. I have accepted this, and I can now give freedom and healing. I want to keep the gifts my source gave to me by giving them away. Key point of giving and receiving is as you give, so you receive, because as you give it, you experience more of it. So that's how you keep it. There I will experience myself at one with it. I want to keep the gifts my source gave to me by giving them away. Today I will experience myself one with it, so that everyone may share my recognition of reality. In my experience, the world is freed as I deny my separation from my source. So I deny my separation from my source that is healed along with me. The world is healed along with me. So, as he's saying, this awareness is in us. with us always, and we can extend it. We can give it to others. The more we give it, the more we experience it. Therefore, the more we have it. And this is the way out of the dream. Just keep giving and extending the light. A really beautiful passage. Yeah, and just teaching us that everything's within us, and we have the power to extend that everything into the world. So peace be to you today, says Yeshua. I choose peace today. It's no translation. Thank you. It's an active choice. Secure your peace by practicing awareness. You are one with your Creator, as He is with you. Secure your peace by practicing awareness. You are one with your Creator, as He is with you. I secure my peace by practicing the awareness that I am one with my source, as it is to me, by cultivating, shall we say, the awareness that I'm one with my source as it is with me. Sometime today, whenever it seems best, we'll devote a half an hour to the thought that I'm one with your formless awareness of perfect love, which is our first attempt at an extended practice period, for which there is no specific guidance, no rules or special words to guide my meditation. I will trust perfect love's voice, God's voice, perfect love's voice, to speak to me as it sees fit today. Certain it will not fail. I invite pure formless awareness of perfect love into my awareness for this half an hour. It will do the rest. Invite pure formless awareness of perfect love into my awareness for this half an hour, and it will do the rest. So, invitation, first time in the work to go deeper into a much deeper state of awareness. And he says, your benefit will not be less if you believe that nothing happens. My benefit will not be less if I believe that nothing happens. You may not be ready to accept again today. Yet, sometime, somewhere, sometime, somewhere it will come to you. And will you fail to recognize it when it dawns with certainty upon your mind? It's half an hour we frame in gold, every minute like a diamond. Just use the analogy of every minute like a diamond set around the mirror that this exercise will offer me. It shows you your true self in the mirror. You'll see Christ's face upon it, a reflection of your own, and I will perceive my true self's identity in it. And Christ is your true self that you awaken to, you arise to this awareness, awaken to this awareness. and perceive my true self's identity in it. And that is the benefit of deep meditation, as it reveals that true self, Christ, who you really are. And it says, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, you will see your own transfiguration in the glass. This only half an hour will hold out to you to look upon yourself, or myself, capital self, translated. When you're ready, you'll find it there within your mind and waiting to be found. You'll remember then the thought to which you gave this half an hour, thankfully aware no time was ever better spent. And I will remember the thought to which I gave this half an hour. Thankfully aware that I've never spent any time in a better way. So what better use of time could there be than to connect with your true self? So perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, you will look into this glass and understand the sinless light you see belongs to you. The loveliness you look on is your own. Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, I'll look into this mirror, understand the sinless light. Let's call it the innocent awareness. Capital A. It says, count this half an hour. This half hour is your gift to God. The certainty that his return will be a sense of love you cannot understand. A joy too deep for you to comprehend, a sight too holy for the body's eyes to see. Count this half hour. It's my gift to pure formless awareness and perfect love. In certainty that its return will be a sense of love I cannot understand. A joy too deep for me to comprehend, a sight too pure for my body's eyes to see. And yet you can be sure someday, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, which you'll finally understand, comprehend, and perceive truly. So it's an invitation to the truth. I mean, he asks us to practice regularly throughout the day, every hour, add further jewels to the golden frame that holds the mirror offered me today in this lesson by repeating to yourself every hour. Let me remember I am one with God and one with all my brothers and myself in everlasting holiness and peace. So I'm one in everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love. All my companions and myself. I'm one in everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love. All my companions and myself. That is the fundamental truth underlies everything else. I am one in this everlasting wholeness and peace. It's perfect love, all my companions and myself. And that is the simple eternal truth. And just to read the summary, today I express my gratitude for my identity and pure formless awareness of perfect love, recognizing my safety, protection, and power in all I do. Everything I touch is blessed and healed. United with pure formless awareness, I rejoice, knowing it accompanies me everywhere. My awareness is innocent. And all I perceive reflects this pure formless awareness within me. My errors vanish, and death is replaced by eternal life. My enlightened words and actions guide others with pure formless awareness as my companion. What I receive is an eternal gift to those who follow, and pure formless awareness, loving us equally, offers us happiness in return. Today, I have unwavering faith in love. Elaine?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah?
Right, where are we?
So I think just read it in the alternative, just to catch up quickly. I've read the lesson, but read from where were we? Number 2, I think. Have we done number 1? Where were we? How innocent my awareness is.
Right. How innocent my awareness is, and everything I perceive reflects the pure formless awareness within my mind that is one with pure formless awareness of perfect love itself. How easily do my errors disappear and death give way to everlasting life. My enlightened words and actions point the way to truth, for pure formless awareness of perfect love is my companion as I walk the world a little while. And those who come to follow me will recognize the way, because the pure formless awareness I carry leaves a trail behind me while still remaining with me as I journey on.
Oh, it's just saying, what's he saying there?
Just how innocent our awareness is, and our enlightened words and actions point us to this truth of the pure formless awareness of perfect love, while we walk this world a little while. So those who come to follow will recognize the way, because the pure formless awareness we carry leaves a trail behind us, so it remains in us on our journey.
Yeah, nice idea. So it's almost like a little trail of miracle dust we leave. And you think of someone like Yeshua, that's exactly what he did. Blazed the trail for others to follow. Left this eternal trail of this awareness behind for others who are wanting the light to follow after him. And he's saying, well, you can leave that same legacy for others as well. Okay, and number 3, what I receive is my eternal gift.
What I receive is my eternal gift to those who follow after me, and to those who went before or journeyed with me for a while. And pure formless awareness of perfect love, which loves us all with the equal love in which we are extended, smiles on us and offers us the happiness we gave to others. It's just saying that we receive this eternal gift for those who follow after us and the ones before us.
So there's no time really. I mean, this is the whole of the sonship. That's every person who's ever lived or ever will live. giving us this eternal perspective. And this awareness loves us all equally. That's the fundamental truth. That's the perennial philosophy. It's one awareness, and it's eternal, and it's in everyone and everything. Can't not be. The idea that God is partial, it's the God of the Israelites, or the God of the Muslims, or the God of one group over another, is ridiculous. It's a universal awareness, which is transcendent. Takes you beyond the narrow beliefs and these limited thought systems that masquerade as religions and whatever else, and takes you into the eternal truth. Okay, so number 4, today I will not doubt its love for me.
Today I will not doubt its love for me, nor question its protection and care. No meaningless anxieties can come between my faith and my awareness of its presence. I am one with pure formless awareness of perfect love today, in recognition and remembrance. I feel it in my heart. My mind contains its thoughts, and my eyes see its loveliness in all I look upon. Today I perceive only the loving and the lovable. It's a nice one, isn't it?
Oh. So, from this awareness, we then look outwards, and it changes our perceptions. Everything seems pure and clean and holy and loving and lovable, because that's what our mind is showing us.
Mm-hmm.
So we perceive with our mind, not with our senses. That's a very important point. If your mind is corrected and healed, then you can perceive only the loving and the lovable, even in, and he goes on, because obviously the ego says, well, hang on, what about all the pain and the suffering and the misery, death in this world? So when he says, I perceive it in appearances of pain, then carry on.
I perceive it in appearance of pain, and pain gives way to peace. I perceive it in the frantic, the sad, the distressed, the lonely and afraid, who are restored to the tranquility and peace of mind in which they are extended. And I perceive it in the dying and the dead as well, restoring them to eternal life. I perceive all this because I perceive it first within myself. Yeah. So it's saying that we perceive it in appearances of pain, but even this pain can give way to this peace. So we can see it frantic and distressed and lonely and afraid, but it can be restored with the peace in the mind, which is where it's been extended from this pure formless awareness.
So even the appearances, correctly perceived, as we discussed earlier when we looked at the text, they're just the correctly perceived. They affirm the denial of truth, affirms the truth that it denies. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So the pain and the appearances which cover over and deny the truth, correctly perceived, are just seen as an affirmation that there's an underlying truth that they cover over, which you can experience. And will ultimately, the pain will give way to the truth and the peace that comes with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
number
nice
6.
when that happens.
Well, that's the miracle. When that transformation happens, that's the miracle that he's talking about. That's the subject of the whole book.
Yeah, and we all experienced it. Like I say, last night I did, but sadly it came back with a vengeance this morning. But interesting how it came about last night. So therefore, I can see it in work. It's doing its work behind the scenes. Sorry, anyway,
Yeah.
I diverted.
Yeah, the ego comes back, but you can always, the ego is not permanent. That state of fear or a despair or anger or whatever it is, it clearly it's not permanent. It comes, it arises, and then it and then it goes. So how can it be real?
Oh yeah, no, I can see that, but it was just so powerful this morning. Like I say, well, as you know, the thoughts that I were having were quite scary.
Dark, yeah.
Very dark, yeah.
Mm.
So it came back with a vengeance this morning.
Mm.
So got to get back on track. That's why I'm on this call.
Yeah. It's not exactly that's why he's given us the the practice.
The appropriate
Practice.
lesson. Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
Right, so number
Number
6,
6.
no correction can ever be denied to those who know they are one with pure formless awareness of perfect love. Every thought of theirs has the power to heal all forms of suffering in anyone. In times gone by and times as yet to come, as easily as in ones who walk beside them now. Their thoughts are timeless and beyond space and time. It's just saying that there's no correction can ever be denied, because could you bring it back down again a second? Yeah, the timeless, because these thoughts are timeless and beyond space and time, so they're just not real. They come, they go. There's nothing permanent or solid about them. They're not you.
Mm.
I
Okay.
join in this awareness as I say that I am one with pure formless awareness of perfect love. For in these words, I say as well that I am awakened and healed, and I can awaken others and heal accordingly. I have accepted this, and I can now give freedom and healing. For I want to keep the gifts my source gave to me by giving them away. Today, I will experience myself at one with it, so that everyone may share my recognition of reality. In my experience, the world is freed. As I deny my separation from my source, it is healed along with me. Yeah, another good paragraph.
Yeah. So giving and receiving again. As I give, I receive.
Mm-hmm.
I extend this out, and the more I extend it, the more I experience it.
Yeah, it's true.
Totally the opposite of the ego's thought system. But if we extend love and light and peace and joy, then we experience them when we do that. So then we get to keep them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, very true. Mm-hmm.
You just can't think in material terms when you come to giving and receiving, because
No.
ego gets you confused by going, we'll focus on the form. You give something, and then that object or money or whatever you've given is not yours anymore. You've given it away, and you feel deprived and less than. But actually, if you focus on the feeling, you felt more
It's the right
expanded.
thing.
The feeling is like, well, I actually have a good feeling when I give. We do, and so that's how we keep what the source has given us, the gifts that it gives us. But a major lesson, which she's repeating again here as part of this lesson. Okay, number 8. I choose peace today.
I choose peace today. I secure my peace by cultivating the awareness that I am one with my source, as it is with me. Sometime today, whenever it seems best, I will devote a half an hour to the thought that I am one with my pure, formless awareness of perfect love. This is my first attempt at an extended practice period for which there are no rules or special words to guide my meditation. I will trust perfect love's voice to speak to me as I see it to fit today, certain it will not fail. I invite pure formless awareness of perfect love into my awareness for this half an hour. It will do the rest. Yeah. It's just asking us to choose peace today, and it's asking us to invite this voice and put half an hour aside to invite this awareness in. And then once you've done that, it'll do the rest.
So first attempt an extended practice. So he hasn't asked us to do half an hour meditation before. So he's saying, okay, so you're just going to go in to the state and be aware of this true self. And then, if your benefit, he just gives us a couple of guidance. So my benefit will not be less if I believe that nothing happens.
My benefit will not be less if I believe that nothing happens. I may not be ready to accept the gain today, yet sometime, somewhere, it will come to me, nor will I fail to recognize it when it dawns with certainty upon my mind. This half an hour will be framed in gold, and every minute like a diamond set around the mirror that this exercise will offer me, and I will perceive my true self's identity in it. Well, that's, very nice. Another nice paragraph. We can't fail if we just keep on with it until it dawns on us, and then that half hour will be, framed in gold, and little moments of diamonds popping up.
Yeah, this is just using the language to try and encourage us.
Richard.
There's this beautiful treasure in there waiting for it. And if you think nothing happens, don't be fooled, because you're just by spending the half an hour, you're setting your intention, you're inviting this awareness in to your experience. Okay, it's perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow.
Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, I will see my own transfiguration in the mirror. This half an hour will hold out to me, enable me to look upon myself. When I am ready, I will find it there waiting to be found within my true awareness. Then I will remember the thought to which I gave the half an hour, thankfully aware that I have never spent any time in a better way. Yeah.
You're saying, this is this extended meditation. You can find your true self, come into your true awareness. And saying it may not happen today, perhaps tomorrow, I will look into this mirror and understand the innocent awareness I see belongs to me, and the loveliness I look on is my own. And, if you do, as I've done, extended meditation for long periods, you do come to this awareness. There's no doubt it promotes it. So saying, well, let's start with half an hour. If you think nothing's happened, you are inviting this awareness in. At some point, it will come in if you persist in your meditation practice.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to read number 11?
Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, I will look into the mirror and understand the innocent awareness I see belongs to me, and the loveliness I look on is my own. I count this half an hour as my gift to pure formless awareness of perfect love, in certainty that its return will be a sense of love I cannot understand, a joy too deep for me to comprehend, a sight too pure for my body's eyes to see. And yet I can be sure someday, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, I will finally understand and comprehend and perceive truly.
Yeah. So what's he saying there?
Well, just be patient. It could be today, tomorrow, whenever. But just, take the half an hour out and wait for the sight of the pure formless awareness. And
he's saying it's a done deal. It's going to happen. Just persist. Perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow. You don't know exactly what's going to happen when you'll have this awareness. But if you persist, you will have this awareness. Someday, I can be sure, I will finally understand, comprehend, and perceive truth, even if it's not today. So, that's the promise. Keep practicing, in other words, and it will happen. And then he just gives us the guidance to do it throughout the day. Read number 12.
Yeah. I add further jewels to the golden frame that holds the mirror offered me today in the lesson by repeating it myself every hour. I am one in everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love, all my companions and myself.
Yeah, great statement of the truth. I'm one in this awareness with everyone and everything, and I just have to remember that while the illusions of separation play themselves out, because that's what they do. But this awareness is the antidote to all of it. Okay, then just read the summary briefly.
Should we take turns in the paragraph? I find that's very helpful.
Okay. So today I express gratitude for my identity in pure formless awareness of perfect love, recognizing my safety, protection, and power in all I do. Everything I touch is blessed and healed. United with pure formless awareness, I rejoice, knowing it accompanies me everywhere. Goes with me, shall we say. Yeah, so this awareness is fundamental. It's in my own mind. It's everywhere I go. And it's in this awareness is my safety, protection, and power. It's my refuge. So what are you saying? You want to read number 2?
What I receive is an eternal
No,
gift.
that's one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Awareness.
My awareness is innocent, and all I perceive reflects this pure formless awareness within me. My errors vanish, and death is replaced by eternal life. My enlightened words and actions guide others with pure formless awareness as my constant companion. So it's just saying while we're in this innocent awareness, it reflects our pure formless awareness within us, which vanishes our errors of death and replaces it with our eternal life. So these, my enlightened words, or you mean repeating today's lesson? Is that what it's saying?
Well, everything. My words are inspired or enlightened. And words and actions guide others to So I express this awareness in my words and actions. As we saw, Yeshua is a massively helpful example of someone who did this. In his words and in his actions, he guided others. He taught by example.
Yes.
Pure formless awareness is my constant companion. So what I receive is an eternal gift to those who follow, and pure formless awareness, loving us equally, offers us happiness in return. Today, I have unwavering faith in its love, protection, and care. No anxieties can disrupt my awareness of its presence. I am one with pure formless awareness of perfect love, feeling it in my heart, seeing its beauty in everything around me, and perceiving only the loving and the lovable. So it transforms our perception. That's what he's saying. It extends into our perception of everyone and everything. And this is the enlightened state. You talked about, well, how does it look? Yeah, you still perceive, but you don't perceive things as separate from you. You see, that there's this underlying love in all of it, and there's an unconditional love for everything and everyone because of that. And that's what it means to, walk the world in the light as the Christ. So you perceive. Yeah.
Do you want me to read that paragraph?
Yeah, I perceive.
I perceive pure formless awareness even in pain, transforming it into peace. The frantic, sad, distressed, lonely, and afraid are restored to tranquility and peace of mind. The perception extends to the dying and the dead, restoring them to eternal life because I first perceived it within myself. Oh, yes, it's saying that the dying, the dead, those in pain, it can be transformed into peace.
Hmm.
But we
Yeah,
have to
can
first perceive it in
extend.
ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, that's our whole. Once you awaken in yourself, what else is there to do but to extend it to others?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why anyone who awakens tends to then get into a teaching function somewhere, and they start teaching it because, well, what else is there to do but to extend it? Okay, so those who recognize their oneness with pure formless awareness of perfect love possess the power to heal all forms of suffering, transcending time and space. So that's why there's no order of difficulty in miracles. None of the limits apply. By acknowledging this oneness, I awaken and heal myself. Where am I? By acknowledging this oneness, I awaken and heal myself and others, sharing the gifts my source gave me. So I acknowledge it in myself and I see it in others and I extend it out. That's the formula. See it in myself, extend it out. As I extend it out, that confirms that it must be in me, and that strengthens my connection with this oneness, which means I can extend it out more. And so it goes. And so you're using the perception projection mechanism positively to awaken you rather than to enslave you, as the ego does.
Yeah. Today I choose peace by practicing awareness of my unity with my source. I devote half an hour to this awareness, inviting pure, formless awareness of perfect love to speak to me. Even if nothing seems to happen, the benefit will come in time, revealing my true self's identity. It was just saying that if we cultivate this awareness of our unity with this source and devote our time, half an hour, to this awareness and inviting the pure formless awareness to speak to us, then it's just saying even if nothing happens, the benefits of the meditation will come in time, and this then will reveal our true identity.
Inevitably, it's just, it might not happen in the first half an hour of your meditation. That would be an unrealistic expectation that you're going to come to full awakening. He's saying if you persist in the practice, you come to know yourself more and more. So this half hour of meditation offers a mirror reflecting my true innocent awareness and loveliness. I gift this time to pure formless awareness of perfect love. And give. Assured of receiving profound love, joy, and innocent sight. Hourly, I remind myself of my everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love, my companions, and myself. I remind myself hourly. So just affirming the determination to practice and in order to experience this true self and the awakening to that. So hourly of my everlasting wholeness and peace, perfect love, everlasting wholeness and peace. Probably means at one with perfect love, my companions and myself. Okay, so then just the key message to wrap it all up in a nice short paragraph.
Today I express gratitude for my identity in pure formless awareness of perfect love. United with it, I perceive only innocence, transform pain into peace, and recognize my power to heal. I choose peace, dedicating time to connect with pure formless awareness, affirming my eternal wholeness and unity with perfect love. It's, yeah, just a very nice, yeah, very good message. Well, beautiful message.
Yeah. You start to see that really this the workbook is a meditation practice, mind training, but he's leading us into this practice of meditation, doing it frequently, twice a day in a longer form, and then during the day, these little mini meditations or breath breaks, as I call it. And then getting half an hour of meditation to connect pure formless awareness. Experience, okay? Because it's experiential knowing. You can only really know this if you know it experientially. Someone says, you're one with pure formless awareness, perfect love, eternal wholeness and unity. It's meaningless if you don't experience it.
Yeah.
Which is where the meditation comes in. If you experience it. That's really what makes the mystics, is they experience it directly in meditation. We usually practice a lot of meditation, and that fundamentally changes their awareness. Hours and hours and hours of meditation. He's giving us a cut down version of it. Say, okay, we'll just do half an hour to start with and start accessing
So do you
this.
do half an hour or a bit more each day, or just when you can?
Yeah. Every morning I meditate for at least 45 minutes.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
try to. Not quite that long, but yeah.
and
Sometimes
then
an hour, yeah.
sometimes I'll do afternoon or evening session. But
Yeah, no.
generally this is, if we do a session, and this is my practice. I'm like, okay, so I've done well, I've been at it for 5 hours now. So
yeah.
That's extended spiritual practice, although it hasn't been a meditation for 5 hours. It's been, I go into meditative states. I'm kind of, in the state, and even if I'm speaking or listening, it's kind of a meditation itself. So
yeah. No.
yeah, okay. So let me just want to see what's happening, because I am expected for dinner at some point.
Oh, yes.
Just want to see what my timing on that is. Yeah, nothing. So I can probably do a meditation quickly if you want on this.
You can do, a quick one, because I'll be popping out as well. So
Yeah.
I've got to take the dogs and get them sorted. So
Yeah, okay.
How do you feel?
Yeah, can do
Do a quick
20
one,
minutes.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think Deborah and Gabriel are at a school fair, so they're still busy with that.
Oh, okay. So you've got a bit of time, yeah.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Okay, so let's do it. You want to get yourself ready. Yes. Yeah, so this is a meditation on today's lesson, Workbook lesson 124. So just making yourself comfortable, sitting with your feet shoulder width apart, your back straight, you cup your hands on your lap, close your eyes, and start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. You clench the sphincter muscle to lock the energy in. Pull the energy up the spine into your heart center. On up into the crown of your head, pausing at the top of the inhale. Scan your mind and notice any thoughts, any emotions, any related body sensations going on. Particularly anything that feels in any way negative, limiting, contracted, constricting. Remind yourself that I am one with God. I'm one with one in everlasting wholeness and peace, with perfect love, all my companions and myself. I'm one in everlasting wholeness and peace, with perfect love, all my companions and myself. You can exhale gently on the truth of that. Have a sense of just blowing out any dark thoughts and emotions, any negative thoughts and emotions. Blown out the nothingness they really are. They're going, gone. Pull the lower stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And rest in this awareness. Everlasting wholeness and peace. Sink into that peace. A deeply peaceful awareness. There's really nowhere else to go but this peace and wholeness. nothing else to do or experience. So just watch the breath, feeling the breath flowing in, the breath flowing out. Stomach rising, the stomach falling. And with each breath, you sink a little bit deeper into this awareness. She says, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, you'll see your own transfiguration. In the mirror, this meditation will hold out to you, to enable you to look upon yourself, your true self, capital self, the Christ in you. You will find it waiting to be found in your true awareness. Remember the thought to which I gave this half an hour, thankfully aware that you have never spent any time in a better way. So give thanks for this awareness. There's really nowhere else to go, and there's nothing else to do, nothing else to think about, but be in this awareness. So just breathe, relax, and be in this awareness. The Christ, the true self that you are. Allow that to speak to you, to be in your mind and in your awareness for the next few minutes of deep contemplative silence. If any thoughts come up to seemingly disturb this peaceful whole awareness, remind yourself that they are illusory. Let me remember instead that I'm one in everlasting wholeness and peace, with perfect love for my companions and myself. Say that I am one in everlasting wholeness and peace, with perfect love for my companions and my true self, capital self. And so it is. And then you blow out any thoughts and negate this truth. Scraps of fear, doubt, worry, anger, attack thoughts, thoughts of death, disaster, pain, suffering, misery, sickness, and so on. You just blow them all away. You rest in this everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love for all your companions and your true self. And then sink into this deep peace. Give everything else over. No thoughts, no other feelings, just surrender completely into this peaceful whole awareness, which is your true self. Another couple of minutes of deep silence. And so just gently coming back in this deep state into an awareness of your body and the breath, senses and the world. And on the count of three, you're going to open your eyes. So 1, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. When you pause at the top of the inhale, you scan your mind again. Just notice any rogue thoughts that deny your everlasting wholeness and peace, perfect love, all your companions and yourself. If you notice any of those, breathe into them and embrace, invite this everlasting wholeness and peace with pure formless awareness of perfect love, all your companions and yourself to come in and replace it. And then exhale on the count of 2 and just blow out any of these negative thoughts that negate the truth of your true awareness. Blow them out. The breeze of your breath into the nothingness that they really are. It's going, gone. All our stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out, and you just rest in this pure formless awareness, perfect love. And rest in God. And rest in perfect love. Let's anchor the state in, set the intention to stay here in this awakened state for the rest of the evening and on into your weekend. So it is said and so it is done. Practice the lesson if you need to frequently to top you up. Just remind yourself that I'm one in everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love, all my companions and myself, to reset your mind into this awareness. You can use the breath break that I've sent you to help you do that. And maybe do another meditation this evening on bed. And will keep you in the peace of God. Surpasses all understanding, as the Apostle Paul called it, the wholeness and the peace and the perfect love with perfect love of everyone and everything. So it is said and so it is done. And now on the count of 3. So just taking a moment to look around, take a minute just to ground yourself back into this world, noticing whatever's going on, thoughts, emotions, notice your sense perceptions, but all from this very calm, peaceful state. You're in wholeness and peace. You remain rooted in that, and just keep in that awareness, no matter what seems to happen in the world. So look around you and notice that whatever object you're looking at, this awareness underlies it. You can close your eyes briefly, then open your eyes. Notice the same awareness. Hasn't changed, hasn't moved. This is your true self, your true awareness. It is not moved by any sense perception. So stay in that awareness. Restore your mind to this awareness by using the lesson. Just remind yourself that I'm one in everlasting wholeness and peace. Every hour, one in everlasting wholeness and peace with perfect love, all my companions and myself, to reset you into this awareness. And that'll keep you in the peace of God, which is what I wish for you for the rest of the evening and the weekend ahead. So thank you, Elaine. That brings us to the end of the meditation and of tonight's session.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jono, for listening to all my woes.
No, let's bring the darkness to light. That's what it's about. So.
Yeah, no, very helpful. Thank you again. Can't thank
all
you
right.
enough.
Okay.
Have a lovely weekend.
You too. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye.
Bye for now. So that's a wrap for today and for this week. Thank you to Elaine, who joined the session, and John earlier. If you'd like to be notified whenever I go live, which is 3 or 4 times a week, then just hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified whenever that happens by YouTube. You can also go to lifebuild.com, see that spelling of lifebuild in the background of this video if you're watching the video, or there's a link below and you can sign up to receive a daily inspirational quote and some thoughts about that, reflections on that, along with a course lesson, workbook lesson from Course in Miracles, along with a short meditation, sometimes longer meditations are sent out as well, but you get at least one recording a day to help you to practice the lesson. And you'll also get reminded about these sessions. Whenever I'm doing a session, I will send out an invitation, notify you on Telegram. So head over to lifepool.com and sign up. And I hope to meet you on the inside soon. So that's it for me for today. And the rest of the week, thanks for watching or listening. And namaste, which means the true self, Christ in me, acknowledges and honors that same Christ presence or true self in you. I'm wishing you much love, peace, and joy in that self.